up, guys? This is Derek Stone here for SR&RTV. Putting together a screen porch today. Just wanted to show you guys kind of what we were doing. What we've got is we've got this 3-inch U-channel. It's a receiving channel here. We had to cut some of our trim out so we can receive it, and it's going to go flat against the column. And then so we'll line that on all 4 sides, and then the door will go over here. So just want to show you guys that. We also have to cut out this piece of trim here for the receiving channel to go on the top. And once we get the top done, we can start putting the square stock together. So anyway, just want to show that to you guys. We'll catch you back here in a couple minutes. Okay guys, so we've got all of our frame in with our U-channel. You can check that out. Got it all in. So the doorway is going to go probably right here, and it's going to open out because that's how they come. But we've got it all in. We'll have to put some trim, put these pieces of trim back up, you know, because I had to make that cut out. And burned up the battery on my multi-tool, go figure. So anyway, we got that ready to go. So now we're going to go on with the rectangle stock, the 3x2, and get her done. I'll show you how to check it out. Show you guys what it looks like here in a few minutes. Alright, progress report here. Want to show you guys a couple things that I didn't mention when I was putting the square stock in. Is when you when you install your door, you want to leave the tape on it. It comes with this tape on it that wraps this Z-channel to the door. Leave the tape on it, get your posts set where they're going to be, your poles right here, and then cut the tape on the inside of the Z-channel right here. That way it'll fit flush against it, and that way, and just throw a couple screws in it. One thing I also do is I'll mark my hinges with a pencil mark on the tops and the bottom. That way when I take this back off, I can set my door to it, because you have to open the door up to set the hinges inside. The other thing is that I like to set a threshold, so I take a piece of my U-channel and I just flip it upside down and make a clear threshold right here for them to step on. It also provides a better seal when you go to put the plate down here on the bottom, the sweep. When you have the sweep, there's a piece of rubber that fits underneath the bottom down there, and it allows it to get a better seal when you put this piece of metal in there versus swiping on the concrete. Also, when you put your square stock in the corners, you want to make sure you put your sides up first, and then that way you can put your bottom and top piece in after, and then once you put the bottom and top piece in, then you put your chair rail inside that. So got my bottoms and all my side pieces put in. Now I've just got to go in and tighten them down and put the top pieces in. So anyway, just want to show you that quick trick with the door and on the side metal pieces. We'll keep going on this and keep you guys updated. Okay guys, so now we've got all our rectangle stock. I keep calling it square stock, but it's actually rectangular. It's 3 inches by 2 inches. So what we've done, I want to show you a quick trick of when we put your chair rail in. And when you put your chair rail in, you're going to measure from the concrete to 36 inches. It's probably going to be pretty hard to see that pencil mark right there, but that's the 36 inches. You do that all the way around on the insides of all your metal and all your vertical supports. Pre-cut them, and then to do this by yourself, one of the ways I've developed is to clamp the piece to your ladder using a clamp, and then clamp the angle bracket, your 90-degree bracket, clamp that to the edge of the with another clamp to the edge of the deal, and then you can put your 2 screws in it. Make sure that you're paying attention what side the screen goes on. This goes on the outside, so you got to make sure you put your brackets on the right side, facing the right side. If not, then you'll have to do it over again. But yeah, we're fixing to be wrapping this thing up to where we can start screening. So yeah, we'll keep you updated. Okay guys, so we got our chair rail up. As you can see, we've got our chair rail up, looking good. Take a step back so we can kind of see what it looks like all together. Got a sprinkler going. So yeah, that's the chair rail all the way around it. We took the door off. What we're going to do is, so this is the Z-channel on one side, and then you have the drip edge. We took the side off the Z-channel that had the hinges on it. And what we've done is we took our pencil marks. Remember where we marked our pencils earlier? Our pencil marks on each side of the hinge right there. and we've lined it up. Now we've clamped it down, so what we're going to do now is we're going to drill holes to mount our screws in. And then once you do that, you put the door back on, and then you can set the closure bracket on it, or you can set the sweep at the bottom. So it doesn't matter which order you do them. You can do them both at the same time, or back to back. It doesn't matter. So anyway, and then once you get done with that, you go around and you put all your screws in. And then when you get done putting all your screws in, then you can screen it. So yeah, let's check that out, and then we'll come back here in a couple minutes. Okay, so a couple things you're going to need when you're doing this door situation here. You're going to need a small drill bit to get that one in there, and then you want to kind of wallow it out, or countersink it is actually the technical term, because of you have to get a screw in there that does that. And then so you're using a little drill bit, and then you're going to countersink it a little bit with a bigger one, and then you'll attach your screw bit back onto it to do those. That's how it looks. Remember, we have the clamp holding it down. You'll put those screws in there, and then you're ready to reset that piece of Z channel. So, all right. Hey guys, so we're just gonna finish up the screen porch this morning. What we're gonna do is we're gonna screen it. So, I want to show you this spline. This is the spline that we use. We get it from our supplier. It's flat. It's meant to go into this. You can see that this channel is flat, and so it fits inside there. We also, I'm going to show you how I want you to do the screen. What I like to do is, and it's fast, it usually takes me like 20 minutes a screen. Sometimes I've had them go as fast as 10 minutes, but what I like to do is I'm right-handed, so I'll push the roller with my right hand, and I'll feed the spline with my left hand. So what I'll do is I'll go from right to left, but I start at the top, and then I do my right side. That way I'm pulling with my left hand. When I go to the left side of the screen, I'm pulling with my left hand, and I'm spining with my right. So at any given time, I'm always using my strong arm to do the spline. So top, right, left. Now if you're left-handed and you pull with your right, then it's going to be the opposite. It'll be top, left, and then your right. So just wanted you to be aware of that. But yeah, we're going to get going on the screen. I'll show you what it looks like when we get done with it. Okay, so I've got the camera turned around here, but what I want to show you is how I have the spline fits inside with the screen on it. And you want to have that left over just a little bit, but you can see how it kind of goes in. What I like to do is, I'm going to back up a little bit, is I have my hand here, but I take the spline and I put the spline over my hand so it guards it. It makes it kind of go flat. See how it'll go flat? So I'll have the spline and the screen in my hand. This just allows it to stay straight, so you can do the whole thing at one time all the way across. So that's kind of the technique. I kind of keep the spline in my hand, just kind of like that, and I'm holding the screen, especially on the top. On the right, you're tightening, and on the left, you're tightening. But on the top, you're just putting it up there. You do want to try to get it as straight as possible, so that's one thing to take into consideration. Okay, so once you get the screen in, you're wanting to take all that excess off. So what you do is you take your razor knife, and I'm going to try to film this. So you take your razor knife and you stick it right inside that groove and just ride it down the spine, just like that. And that should release it all the way up. There you go. Okay guys, so inside the hardware bag you have this spring, which we never use. We have this closure bracket, which we never use, and this bag of screws, which we never use. What we do use is this spline right here. This is our sweep. We use that. We use the handle hardware and the two spacers. We use the other side of the handle. This all comes in the handle kit. The two screws for the handle, the push bar, and then this little screw, I just use this as one of the normal screws that we have, the self-tap screws that go on all the joints. I just use this to pre-drill my holes. It also comes, the hardware box comes with this piece, the hydraulic, and then this closure bracket comes separate with your kit. They give it to you when you order the door, this closure bracket right here. So what I do is I line the closure bracket up with this bar right here, that bar. So I'll line it up with that bar, just like that, as you can see. And then I'll pre-drill my 4 holes with the regular self-tap screw. And then I'll put the Phillips head screws in there. There's 4 Phillips head screws, big long ones that come with that. So I'll put those in there. And then I set my hydraulic. When I set my hydraulic, I kind of skipped this step a little bit and went right to it. When I, 2 seconds, gotta have 2 hands for this. So when I set my hydraulic, I don't have anybody else to help me film this, so I always put pressure on it. So I always set it right there. I don't ever set it closed, because when you set it that a little bit wide, it allows it to always be under pressure, so it'll always shut. So that's one thing that I do when I'm setting my hydraulic. When I preset that piece, so I'll figure out where that's gonna lay in, that hole's gonna land at. I'll set this piece up here, and then I'll pre-drill my hole and put my screws in. So that's the way to do the door kit. And then after that, we'll set the spacer down here where we put the sweep on, and we'll move this spacer down. So and then we'll set the door handle up there. All right, see you in a second. Okay, so inside the hardware kit comes this little diagram right here. And it says use a 13/16 drill bit. I always use the 5/16. It works just fine. But what you do is you bend this, you fold it on the line right there, just like that. See how I folded that over? We'll go on to the outside of the door. When you come to the outside of the door, you want to kind of figure out where your hand's going to be naturally. So stand and then just reach for the door. Where that's going to be at is right here. I never measure this. It just doesn't make sense to sit there and do that. I just kind of figure out what's natural. What's natural is about right there. So I'm going to take this diagram and I'm going to wrap it just like that along that side, and then drill those 3 holes out. When I drill those 3 holes out, that'll allow my door handle and the push rod to go all the way through. So so that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so now that I got my 3 holes drilled out right there, I want to show you how this goes together. So you have your bracket, you have your pusher. I call it the pusher. So that sits down in there straight, like so. And then you will take your push rod, and that goes, if I can pick it up, in that hole. There's a hole in the middle of that pusher. Stick it right inside that hole, just like that, and then you put your spring on it, just like that. So that's what you're going for right there, like that. Now that's going to go on the outside of the door, and then you're going to take your opener with the lock mechanism on it. It's got the locker on it right there. You're going to take your opener and these 2 spacers, and you're going to put the screws inside. You're going to put the spacers on this side against the door. I'll show you what that looks like when we're done with it, and then install it. Okay, so now that we got the door on, we're going to check it, the door handle, sorry. We're going to check it. This is what you want your hydraulic adjusted to. The hydraulic adjusts right there with that screw. See that screw right there, inside there? That's what you're adjusting. You turn it to the right for more, and then turn it to the left for less. So we're going to set it at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to watch it shut. It has to latch, so it latches, so that's where we're going to leave it. Alright, so now we're going to do the sweep down there, and then call it a day. Okay, on the sweep, it has like a triangle at the end of it. It's kind of hard to see that. Very hard to see that, but it fits down in here, so we're going to put it on the inside. You just feed that all the way down the door, and then you'll cramp this side. Actually, we don't want to do we want to do the front. So we're going to cramp the edge of that side to lock it in place. All the way down. Go down here and pull it through. Okay, so once you get it in there, you'll cut the access off, and you'll cramp that corner right there. so it'll keep it from moving back and forth. And then we adjust this by pushing this down. Ooh, I'm gonna pull it off. We'll do that and the other side so we can close the gap on it. Okay guys, this is the last video. This is our screen porch. Got it all done, screened in, doors adjusted, and our mess is cleaned up. So we got a pretty sweet setup. Screen porch. Hey guys, so that includes our screen porch. This is Derek Stone signing off here from SR&RTV. Like our channel guys, subscribe to it, share the videos with people. They're informative. If you can get the metal, then go right ahead and start building yourself some screen porches. You guys have a great day. Talk to you later.